The Queen of Cups is a great card, actually. This person is dreamy. So for singles, this person is coming in to the month with their subconscious kind of guiding the way, instead of being, you know, the dual personality that Gemini is, and, you know, always looking both ways, making sure you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's. This person is kind of letting a lot of the practicality go, a lot of, you know, you're normally somebody who's like, all right, you know, make sure the bills are paid, and, you know, if you still write checks, you know, make sure the checkbook is balanced. And this month you're kind of going, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? What do I want to become? Where do I see myself in 20 years? So very important. And I sense that for a lot of you, this is helping in relationships, because you're just kind of going with the flow, which has been great. You're also dreaming about things, finding, you know, a great match, but you're not looking for perfection. And Geminis don't necessarily look for perfection, but they look for somebody who fits kind of a mold that they've had ingrained in their head for a long time. And you're looking for somebody who's going to kind of take you to a whole different place. It's about mystery, and you're kind of having fun with it. For couples, this is whimsical, very, very close. It's as if you and your lover or partner are, or even if you're married, you're seeking each other's advice, but you're doing it together. So you're looking for the future and what it holds, but you want to make sure that that encompasses your relationship, because I feel very much that you're feeling very happy and satisfied at the moment in your relationship, and you kind of want to go to the next step, whether it's kids, marriage, if you're not already there, you know, whatever the case may be, but you're relying on each other, which is excellent. So it's almost as if your friendship is bonding a little bit every day, and you're becoming closer and closer. Both singles and couples are coming across as the advice giver almost. People are coming to you almost like they see the stars in your eyes, and they're wanting to know, you know, what would you do in this situation? Help me out with my single life, or help me out with my partner. So really, it's a good, you know, entrance into March, Gemini. It really is. The next card you have is going to be any feelings or challenges that pose a threat or help, you know, the Queen of Cups, so to speak. So you have the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is major arcana, and again, this is feelings or challenges, and they're more often than not internal. So this card is about self-awareness, which is interesting. That goes rightly along with your current state of mind. This is insight. This is, again, it's not about work or money, but finding personal balance. For singles, I see you as the Hanged Man, kind of hanging upside down and waiting for something to come across and bring you right side up. But you're kind of enjoying being upside down. You're kind of enjoying the swinging motion and relaxing, and it's a very positive type feeling. It's weird because I see some of you in like a hammock or planning, you know, to be just kind of free-flowing, and it's actually excellent because you're coming in and you're internal. You're coming in Queen, and your internal match pretty good. This is all about wisdom, and for singles, whatever you're going to find in your partner, you need to find within. So as I tell every sign, whatever you put out into the universe is what you're going to get back. So if you want somebody who's happy, who feels fulfilled, who knows that they can fulfill themselves, so basically somebody who's confident but not overly confident, nobody judgmental, you're looking for somebody who loves themselves and therefore can give that in return. And that's really what you're going to find, you know, by behaving as the Hanged Man and finding that within. You'll put that out, and that's what you'll get. So this is very whimsical card as well, just like the Queen. For couples, this is about a little bit more about sacrifice. Again, In finding personal balance, but both of you are in the position where you're willing to sacrifice money if the job is going to make somebody happier, or you're willing to sacrifice putting off having kids if that's going to make somebody happier, or putting off the wedding if that's going to make you happier or them happier. And none of it's negative. I get the impression that it's like, okay, well, I want to give you a great wedding, so let's give it a year so that we're both there, or we're both still searching for what we want externally, so internally let's combine forces and make that happen. So that's very positive as well. Again, I see it being more about, you know, personal growth, but with couples you're doing it together, and with singles you're doing it solo, or maybe like with really good friends, or in, you know, some sort of group. Again, both of these reflect a very positive beginning of March. The next card you have is going to be past relationships. This is distant past, so it could be years, or it could even be last year. Just depends on how it resonates with you. And you have the Devil. So the Devil, a lot of us have in our past. This is addiction. This is depression, anxiety. Basically, this is probably one of the worst past cards you could have. Although it doesn't mean that it's not overcome, it just means there was a dangerous path taken at one point. So either you or your partner suffered from addiction. I feel like a lot of you, it's going to be your partner. And in some situations, because you're Gemini and it's dual, I almost feel as though it's both of you, or you both had your different obsessions. So again, the past position always plays similar for both singles and coupled. This is, you know, a lot of you were trapped, feeling trapped, unbelievably trapped. Some of you were trapped, and that's why the addiction formed, or the obsession with something formed. And then some of you were trapped in the fact that maybe you couldn't get out of it. Maybe you didn't have the money to leave that person. Again, you know, unfortunately, this is a very dangerous card for some of you. And I applaud you, because this is in the past, and I get the utmost sense that you've come out of this. And, you know, this may be why you're coming into this. We'll see how the rest of the cards play, but I mean, this is all about self-awareness and self-healing and being better, and dreams and positivity, and this is very negative. So somewhere in here you've gotten over it, or you've overcome the past, and you're starting to. I'm gonna give this card a warning too. I've seen the devil before in the past. Look, we all have devils in our past. We all have the skeletons. Everybody. This devil might come back. So I'm just letting you know that as a fair warning. I get a very strong sense that some of you have gotten rid of this devil, maybe got rid of this devil a couple times, and they're coming back. The thing that's scary here is addiction can progress. You know, depression and anxiety can get worse. And so each time that presents itself, it can build up and build up and build up and make it a worse situation each time. So again, you know, don't ruin anything good that's coming or that has come with this devil. Know that you have the strength to cut the ties, and, you know, really I'm getting the feeling that most of you have. So again, this just tells me that your past has been some of the hardest to overcome. And again, for a small part of you, it may be that you were the one who was facing some sort of addiction or depression or anxiety. For the most part, I believe most people have suffered from some sort of depression or anxiety, or have felt trapped in past relationships. So this isn't anything singling Geminis out. It's just, I'm getting the sense a lot of you have had a harder time than some other signs. But, right, it makes you stronger in the end. The next card you have is going to be your most recent past, so in the past few weeks, the past month or so, and you have the Fool. And the Fool, that's interesting because if I remember, I think Virgos got the Fool this month in that exact same position. So again, your most recent past, this is awesome. This is the beginning of the deck. This is starting over. new beginnings, potential, rebirth. For singles, this means a lot of opportunity, a lot of options, online dating, you know, starting over, deciding that you're going to change ways, getting away from that devil past, and being a new person inside yourself and out, meeting new people, you know, maybe forming new habits that are healthier, finding, again, a personal balance, which these represent as well. So everything's kind of coming into shape. You know, as I said, potential, a lot of suitors, and I'm noticing some of you finding different ways of gathering those suitors, so not necessarily using the, you know, same online dating sites. I'm not sure if I can list them, so I'm not going to, but I'm well aware of the sites. Some of you are being really creative in this process, and I'm finding, you know, new ways, or maybe talking to people. So I just got the weirdest, like, sense or picture of some of you actually even standing in line at the grocery store, right? Didn't they say back in the day that was somewhere you could meet people? Some of you are standing in line at the grocery store and you're striking up the conversation. Normally you kind of maybe wait for somebody else to strike it up, or you'd strike it up with somebody that, you know, was just kind of practice, not really somebody you're interested in. But I see some of you really having a brave heart about this and knowing that you deserve something good, and maybe at the grocery store or, you know, wherever you're going. I see the movie theater for some reason. Maybe you're with friends, strike up a conversation with, you know, somebody in line. I don't know, but I see some of you really putting the effort in. And again, it's not the monotony of the online dating. For couples, it's the same thing. I see you as a team deciding that you're going to change your life. So again, maybe, you know, this rebirth is actually birth, and you're pregnant or going to be pregnant, or you're adopting a child. This is, you know, taking everything into account and making decisions that are better for you and your partner. Some of you are, this is a new beginning in the sense that you're coupled, but you're going to get married, or it's interesting. I see some of you not even doing like the wedding planning necessarily, but you're just going to go to like the justice of the peace. You're just going to elope. And again, maybe because of this devil energy, it's so weird now that I'm thinking about that. I'm getting this feeling that that devil energy may not even be a significant other in all aspects. This may be for one or two of you. But this devil energy is like a sister or a brother or somebody who has encompassed your life for so long, needing money, needing help, needing a place to live, and you've broken free from that. And maybe the reason that you're eloping or not doing a big wedding is because there's family splits, or you've gotten rid of bad energy, and to do a big wedding would just mean you'd have to bring in those past thoughts or past feelings or past people. So interestingly enough, couples, you know, everybody seems to be doing well, whether you're coupled or single. For couples, this is kind of a starting over, as I said, but it's almost like a lifestyle too. I see some of you, because obviously your birthdays are coming up in the next few months, maybe you're deciding, hey, I was 29 and now I'm 30, or I was 39 and now I'm 40, and you're kind of doing a restart in that aspect. Like, okay, well, when we were, you know, 19, we could get away with this. When we were 29, we could get away with this. We're 39, we could get away with this. 49, okay, I'm too tired. So again, whatever it is, it's very positive for singles and couples. The next card you have is going to be in time and future possibilities. So this is the future, not just March, but over the next couple of months. And you have the Seven of Cups. So I've seen that come up a lot lately, last month and this month. Seven of Cups always talks about, you know, choices, options. So for singles, again, plethora of dating options and choices. And really what it comes down to is you have the choice to date, you know, whoever you want, so to speak. Again, Gemini have the dual personality, so you're really good at kind of like when you're in sales, and if you talk to somebody on the phone and they have one tone of voice, you can mimic that tone of voice. So it's not that you're being not real or ingenuine, but you're kind of testing the waters and seeing what works for you. Who do you like best about you And that's who you'll become when you're around that person, if that makes sense. So if you're dating somebody and you notice that you tend to be a certain way with them and you feel good about it and you feel comfortable and you get that kind of warming sensation, then that is who you are, and that is somebody that might be a good fit for you. So keep that in mind, because that's really important. Again, temptation, I say this to every sign that gets this card, especially in this area. You know, temptation, put out what you want to give, as I've said it over and over and over. If you put out lust, you put out one night stands, that's what you're going to get. Nothing worth building a future on. I see some of you, and again, this is very few, some of you going along with this devil here, that you have the temptation to give them one more chance, or you have the temptation to, at some point in your future, again, this could be 3 months from now, it could be 6 months from now, you may encounter that person, whether it was family, an ex-lover, and, you know, the temptation may be strong, and I would suggest not doing it. If this past was as bad as I feel like it might have been for some of you, I would just suggest don't go back there, because you have this new beginning, everything's looking good. Just don't go there. You're hopeful right now, you're wishful, and that's what anybody could ask for, especially being single nowadays, because we all know that's very hard. For couples, it's very similar. You have options. You're both wishful. This card is about a plethora of things that you can do as a couple. Again, this goes back to maybe some of you are buying a house, having a baby, getting married. The Seven of Cups for couples is often a big sign of your potential as a couple. So it means that no matter what choices you make, you're not going to ruin your relationship as long as you do it together. You know, if you have plans on saving money, you're both going to be coherent in that. You're both going to be having that same goal. If you're wanting to find jobs that you really love, or one of you has a really good job and the other person has something they're mediocre about, you're going to help that person, or they're going to help you, and it's going to be like a cohesive unit, if that makes sense. So whatever comes up in the future, you're going to feel good about. You're going to have, it's wishful thinking, but you're going to bring that into reality. So again, for your distant past, a lot of things are coming to fruition, and you have just unbelievable options as couples. So that's excellent. The next card you have is going to be your immediate future, so within the next few weeks or this month, and you have the Magician. So it's interesting because all of this is tying in together very well now, because the Fool is actually the first card of the deck, the Magician is the second card of the deck. So the Magician is about having the power to do what you want. For singles, this is, again, connections, versatility. You have a lot of major arcana here as well, if you haven't noticed, because you have the Hangman, the Devil, the Fool, the Magician, which is really good. You don't see a lot of arcana cards in readings unless it's a pretty strong, pretty powerful, things are going to change, but not necessarily, you know, bad, or not necessarily anything you can't handle, just good. And the cards you have for your future and your immediate past are excellent, because the Magician, again, you can be any sign you want if you notice the markings on the hand. And Gemini, again, are dual personality, so they're good at putting on that persona. But I see you using it as singles, again, to your advantage of testing out the waters. Well, if I, you know, I'm overconfident, how do I feel about myself with this person? If I romance them, how do I feel about myself? So you have like this ability to control the connections that you're going to meet. You know, obviously don't over control it, and don't play a game, and don't mess with anybody's emotions, because that's not fair. But I really feel you testing the waters with different type of people, and then you're going to get the senses and the clues that you need to know and figure out if that's a good person for you. Again, this is all in your hands. The Magician for couples is amazing as well, because this is making things happen. So this is kind of where I was going with the Seven of Cups, but I was having a hard time basically saying what I wanted to get out. And now the Magician comes up and it's telling me, it doesn't matter if it's marriage, kids, moving, redecorating, taking a vacation. The Magician is telling me it's in your hands. You can do whatever you choose to do as a couple, whatever you choose to do. And there's no right or wrong answer either. Neither one of you is sitting here going, well, you know, he or she better agree on this, or, you know, whatever. If you're same sex, he and he, or she and she, doesn't matter. Neither one of you are sitting there going, well, they better totally agree with me. This is like an openness. This is, you know, you guys have the ability to make your future, and you're going to have the communication you need to make it happen, and the versatility, same as singles. So if one of you wants to take a trip and one of you wants to get married, somehow you'll figure that out. Maybe you're going to elope on an island. I mean, again, all of this is very positive, and it's all in the palm of your hands. So the next card you have is going to be future external factors. And you have the Eight of Coins. So isn't that interesting? The future external factors is the Eight of Coins, because here you're kind of whimsical, and here everything's kind of at your hands and magical. And the Eight of Coins is all about hard work and duty. So, but again, this is external factors. So for singles, this is going to be, you're going to work hard, play hard, so to speak. So you're going to work your day to day, do what you normally do, but again, hitting your ability to shift focus and become a different person, so to speak. Gemini have an excellent, unbelievable work ethic. One of the best. They have the ability to go out at night, you know, hang out, maybe have fun, maybe stay up a little too late, whatever the case may be, and tomorrow they will rise bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, for the most part, from my experience with Geminis. They're unbelievable at that. You know, or maybe they could be on the beach somewhere or in the middle of the mountains, but they'll still manage to have a strong work ethic and be present at work. So for singles, this is you taking care of the day-to-day, not letting anything slip. You're not watching your bank account drain while you're being this whimsical person and having, you know, these dreams and thoughts. You're taking care of the day-to-day, but then you're able to turn that on a dime and, you know, romance your partner, or romance a person you're meeting, or plan interesting dates. And, you know, very, very interesting too, because I see some of you doing some interesting things with the spring starting, like outdoor concert series. I know, you know, that some sporting events like baseball and different things start in the spring. I just see you planning different things, not just the, hey, let's meet at the bar for a drink, or hey, let's have some dinner, or hey, let's go to the movies. You're really thinking spontaneously and outside of the box. For couples, it's the same thing. It's hard work. You know, you're doing the normal, you know, 8 to 5, if that's what you have. Some of you, normal is, you know, midnight to 7 a.m. or whatever the case may be. But if you have kids, or even if you just have the responsibility of maintaining an apartment, or even if you're just dating and but you've been together for a long time, this is putting in the hard work and it's paying off. And it's interesting, I feel like a lot of you are taking the next step. So if you are dating and you haven't moved in together, that's going to be your next step. Again, that goes along with these new beginnings, and not new beginnings like, hey, we're breaking up, but new beginnings like, hey, let's go on to the next chapter. That's going to be a new beginning for us both. The 8, again, signifies, and for some of you, maybe having a baby. So you're going to put in the work. Some of you are going to feel a higher stamina, which is not a bad thing. It could be higher stamina in the bedroom. It could be higher stamina in everything's just flowing right now, Gemini. Like, stamina at work, you know, maybe sometimes you felt lost or bored or run down or underappreciated or whatever the case may be. But right now, I just feel like you have this built up emotion, but it's an excellent emotion. It's almost like you can achieve anything you put your mind to. So for singles and coupled, this card signifies taking care of the everyday and making sure all of that's in a line. And that's your external, which makes sense, especially for Gemini, because like I said, they are excellent at what they do in tasks and prioritizing. So all of that's going to stay the same. You're just going to have a little more time, and you're going to make that happen. You're going to make things happen that are a little more whimsical, a little more fun, a little more adventurous, a little more heartening, a little more, you know, romance, so to speak. All right, so the next card you have is going to be your internal factors, and you have the Sun. So this is very interesting, Gemini, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana in your read, which is huge. I generally see 1 or 2 at most. So the Sun is, again, a lot of self-awareness, like this glow inside of you, which here, these cards represent the self-awareness. Again, like I said, not being the down-to-earth worker, which we know you are, and you got that for external, but internal, you're shining a light that you really haven't before. You're creating things. It's, you know, hope. It's seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, especially after this devil. It's amazing. Internally, it's as if you know you're going to achieve whatever you want. And for singles, this is clear-sightedness. This is, you know what you want, you're going after it, you're going to find it, end of story. I mean, it's that simple. For singles this month, Gemini, I really feel like you have the Fool, your new beginning, the Magician, you're making it happen, you're keeping things aligned at work, and now the Sun is shining, and you possess the inner light and strength to make whatever you want happen. And I think you're going to find amazing people and maybe develop relationships that are friendship, that are wholehearted good people. Maybe you're going to hang out with your neighbor that is, you know, going to develop into a really good friendship. Or maybe you have a family member you haven't seen in a long time that isn't this devil or posing any problems, and you're going to develop a new kinship with that person. So whatever it is, it's definitely positive. For couples, it's going to be the same type of thing. This card is all about solutions. And I don't find, again, any fighting, any arguing, anything coming up that's going to be drastic. It's going to be more like, okay, so we are going to get married and we do want to take a vacation. And so we're going to make that happen together. Where do we want to go? What do we want to do? You know, the Sun is all about internally feeling the best you can feel. And sometimes I get, you know, for couples, one of you is on one lane and one of you is on another lane, or you're, you know, as I said, gosh, I think to Virgo as well, which I kind of feel like this is a very similar read, but I feel like, you know, I think it was Virgo that I said, you thought you were in the same car and you weren't, or you thought you were on the same road and you weren't even in the same car. And I feel the complete opposite for Gemini. And again, I think that was like their past or something, whatever it is. But the Sun tells me that you're both rising together. You're both coming together. You're both on an even playing field. No animosity. I just kind of feel like you possess the ability to, again, make what you want happen. And that's really positive. The next card you have is going to be your hopes and fears and the outcome. So this card is your hopes and fears of the outcome of March, and that's the 7 of Coins. So this either hinders or helps your outcome, and your outcome is the 9 of Cups. And, okay, well, obviously there's something going on with you and Virgo. I felt like bringing them up, and Virgo got that exact same card for their end and for their outcome. And like I said, I'm pretty sure they got the Fool for their recent past. So I don't know if you have Virgo in your life. maybe not, I don't know, you're talking about earth sign and air and whatnot, but very similar. And for some reason they keep popping into my mind because they had one of the most positive readings I think I've ever given a Virgo, whether it was personal or you know, on YouTube. So something interesting there. I don't know if you have a sun, moon, or rising, if you're dating a Virgo, if you have a Virgo family member, whatever it is, that might be something to look into. So your Seven of Coins is going to be your hopes and fears, often internal, but sometimes external. And this is, you know, assessing your situation. This is, again, all about choices. And I keep picking up you're making the right choices. And I feel like a lot of you are eliminating the crap. You're just deciding, you know, I know what I want. I feel like some of you are swiping left or swiping right or whatever the case may be. And it's going to take something pretty significant to kind of stop you in your tracks. But once you find it, you're going to build on that. And this person is going to be somebody that you've been waiting for a long time. The 7 actually helps the outcome of the 9 because you're going to make decisions on taking a risk and what the payoff will be. So maybe you're going to take a risk on somebody that you normally wouldn't. Again, as I said, with like the Magician and the Fool, you know, this is about versatility and maybe not sticking with the normal people you would date and reaching out or going somewhere you normally wouldn't to date. Maybe some of you have never been religious a day in your life and now you're deciding church is the best place you're going to meet them. Or maybe you've been religious your entire life and you're deciding that, you know, you're going to go to the bar and that's where you're going to meet them. Again, for singles, everything has been super positive for couples as well. For couples, the 7, of Coins is about assessment, which, as I said, I feel like a lot of you are assessing where you're going in the future, but it's not a tug and pull. And as you can see, these vines are kind of growing cohesively, which you're rising at the same pace, you're moving at the same pace. Both of you are seeming very happy, and you're not feeling like you have to keep up with each other or one of you is moving in a different direction. Again, everything seems to be kind of running in the same direction, running evenly. The 7 is one of my favorite cards because this kind of comes up as, you know, again, you make the choice, kind of like the Magician and the Fool. You make the choice, but this is your payoff. The 9 of Coins is you're going to continue to assess. You're going to, some of you are going to move fast, some are going to take baby steps, but these are the choices you make, and you're either going to fail or succeed. It's a risk-reward, again, relationship, and yet it's success completely because of, as you can see, you have the 9 of Coins. 9 of Coins, as I always say, is bliss, it's pleasure, it's, you know, your head above the clouds, it's whatever you want. This is at the end of March coming out as success. The sun is shining through. What can I say? For singles, this is about pleasure. This is about romance. This is about desire, and not in a bad way, not about the temptation of the 7 of Cups. As I said, just be wary of what you put out. But the 9 shows that what you're putting out right now is somebody long-term, lifelong. You're looking for the real deal. And according to your read for March, you're going to find it for singles. Now, I don't see you finding it necessarily tomorrow. I don't know that you're going to want to be engaged by the end of the month, but something big is coming for you in the way of romance. And you're, again, keeping everything aligned here, work-wise, financially, whatever the case may be, but you're going to see it blossom, you're going to see it become amazing at the end of March and even further. For couples, it's the same thing. So whether it's kids, marriage, moving, you're happy. You're very happy. It's almost as if you have spring fever, so to speak. I see a lot of you Interestingly enough, I do see a lot of you planning a wedding or an engagement. I see kind of you're deciding that your work-life balance has never been coinciding with, you know, maybe one of you loves your job, one of you hates it, and you're going to allow each other to make those changes, even if it means, you know, holding back on the finances or not spending as much, or maybe one of you wants to lose weight and the other one has always been kind of fit. Whatever it is, it's not lopsided. It's just that I see you fulfilling your needs together and kind of helping the other person, being very fluid. And the Nine of Cups shows that together you're going to rise and, you know, become the best that you can be together. Unbelievable, Gemini. Really positive this month. Hope you enjoyed the read. So I've been doing this chintzy green fortune cookie for the month of March. Obviously, St. Patrick's Day is this month, so I thought it would just be kind of fun to see what it says. It's probably going to be a little small to read, or for you to see. Everything you are against weakens you. So everything you are against weakens you. And that's interesting, because I think that rings true in the fact that we'll put that right there on the devil and say that everything you're against weakens you. Don't fight that devil. Just don't let them back in your life. I don't care who it is. Anybody who's going to push you through the past pain, don't give in to that. It just weakens you. You're against it. You're better than that. Whether it's somebody who was addicted, whether it's you who's addicted, whether it's somebody you've let in and out too much, whether it's those anxieties, depression, whatever it is, be this. Allow this to come in. Start fresh. Keep things in check, but let your sun rise and come out. Don't let that devil weaken you. You've got this, Gemini.